Krista was just saying.
Hello everyone, we will now call to order the pre-council meeting for today, Monday, May 15th, 2023, here in the council chambers at 5:30 p.m. We'll begin with roll call.
Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Guerrero.
Here.
Councilman Hug. He did let me know he would be unable to attend this evening. Councilwoman Ibarra. Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First on the agenda this evening is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Nate Washburn regarding Council Memo 243-23.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. Nate Washburn with KGG LLC, 111 North Ottawa Street. I'm here on the variation of use for 649 North Bluff Street. Here to answer any questions you might have about that project. If you have no questions, come tomorrow night. We'd appreciate a vote of approval. Thank you.
No questions?
No questions.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone that would like to speak on an agenda item? Seeing none, the city manager will review the items for tomorrow's agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Agenda item 218-23, regular payroll for March 24th through April 6th is $3,803,514.95, and regular payroll for April 7th through the 20th is $3,830,179.04. Agenda item 219-23, award a contract for the purchase of a replacement pump for the Colton Avenue lift station to Gastova and Associates in the amount of $37,310. Agenda item 220-23, award a contract for the purchase of a replacement final tank drive for the #1 final tank drive at the Aux Sable Water Treatment Plant to Ecoiva Water Technologies LLC in the amount of $50,685.58. Agenda item 221-23, it's an award of a contract for the 2023 sidewalk curb replacement project, Contract A, to Davis Contract Construction Company in the amount of $290,000. Agenda item 222-23, award a contract for the Garden Street, West King Kellogg Street culvert repair project to Austin Tyler in the amount of $130,224. Agenda item 223-23, award a contract for the 2023 sewer cleaning and inspection program to National Power Rodding in the amount of $717,260.25. Agenda item 224-23, award a contract to Xerox for printer replacement in the amount of $269,684.50. Agenda item 225-23, award a contract for sidewalk vault improvements to 16 West Van Buren Street and 79 North Chicago Street to Lindbad Construction in the amount of $745,191.70. Agenda item 226-23, award a contract for their emergency roof replacement at the East Side Water Treatment Plant to Crowther Roofing and Sheet Metal in the amount of $54,000. Agenda item 227-23, professional services agreement for the Phase 3 engineering services to Chicago Street Sidewalk Vault Contract 1 to CivTech Engineering in the amount of $69,353. Agenda item 228-23, purchase of 2 Harley-Davidson motorcycles from Fox River Harley-Davidson in the amount of $56,688.76. Agenda item 229-23, purchase of 2 combination backhoe loaders for public utilities from Oler Turf Industries in the amount of $330,000. Agenda item 230-23, approval of installation for lighting and drop ceilings at Fire Station 4 and Fire Station 7 to Arberti Building Solutions for a combined total of $57,545. Agenda item 231-23, payment for the 2023 membership dues for the Lower DuPage River Watershed Group in the amount of $27,140.62. Agenda item 223-23, award a contract for the Olympic Boulevard improvements, motor fuel tax section number 21544 PV to deconstruction in the amount of $10,788,484.59. Agenda item 253-23, a public hearing for the ordinance approving a vacation of a .55 acre portion of Page Avenue. Agenda item 236-23, a public hearing for resolution approving the annexation agreement for annexation of 8.18 acres on Frontage Road. This has been requested to be tabled by the staff. And that's to be able to provide a little bit more information into utility and drainage easements and fire hydrant coverage for the subject property. So the staff, again, is asking that that be tabled. Agenda item 238-23, ordinance designating 410 Whitney as a contributing property to the Class Bungalow Local Thematic Historic District. Agenda item 239-23, an ordinance designating 212 Richard Street as a local historic landmark. Agenda item 240-23, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow vintage clothing business located at 70 North Chicago Street.
Excuse me, Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
Can we just back up for a minute on these local historic, are these, I read in the packet, whatever you want to call it, that the owner wants to do this. I was wondering if the owner was here. Because do they realize, once they do this, they have to go by very strict standards of, if they want to do anything to their home, they have to get it approved by the Preservation Committee, and it has to be exact. It can't be vinyl, it can't be fencing of any kind. It has to have the original windows. It can't put on a front porch without approval. Everything has to be approved. That's why I just want to make sure.
I can't say whether or not, I could find out from.
But the owner's not here.
The owner's not here, and the other one is a church, so.
Right, I know the church, but I'm just, it was that
Right.
410 Whitney that I was concerned about.
Right. Okay.
Because back in the day, they used to have grant money and things like that to help the homeowners. And those are not available readily like they used to be. That's what I wanted to make sure that they understood all that.
Okay. Well, we'll have somebody reach out to the property owner and make sure that they're aware of that.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
you-
That, all for it, that's what they want, you know, but it's not as easy or as fun as you think it might be.
right. Okay. Agenda item 240-23, which is an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow vintage clothing business located at 70 North Chicago Street. Agenda item 241-23, ordinance associated with Deer Crossing subdivision, and it's an ordinance approving the revised preliminary plat of Deer Crossing subdivision, an ordinance approving the final plat of the Deer Crossing subdivision, and an ordinance approving the recording plat of Deer Crossing subdivision, all unit 2. Agenda item 242-23, ordinance associated with an automobile, truck, and recreational vehicle repair business located at 490 South Hams Avenue. Agenda item 243-23, an ordinance approving a variation to allow a 2-unit rental property in an R2 single-family residential zoning district located at 649 North Bluff Street. Agenda item 244-23, ordinance associated with the annexation of the 8.81 acres located. Again, this is going to be asked by staff to be tabled, so it's also, so there's kind of two things on the one property here, and both those items will be, we are asking to be tabled. Staff is asking to be tabled. Agenda item 246-23, a resolution accepting a technical assistance grant and the award of the RTA for downtown Joliet Transient-Oriented Development Plan. Agenda item 247-23, a resolution accepting and placing on file the Historic Preservation Commission annual report for 2022. Agenda item 248-23, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an memorandum of understanding with the Plainfield Fire Protection District and the Joliet Fire Department. Agenda item 249-23, a resolution authorizing the execution of a settlement agreement between the City of Joliet, Commonwealth Edison, and Alvar's Audit Solutions, which is an electric tax audit. Agenda item 250-23, a resolution authorizing the staff to apply for charging and fuel infrastructure grant.
Mayor. Jim or Caesar, I had a couple questions on
Sure.
that charging infrastructure grant. When was this grant provided to the city? I mean, when did this become information for us?
I don't have an answer to that question. I can find out for you.
I mean, was it like 4 months ago or 3 months ago? Or?
Councilman, I can't really say. I know that there were grants being made available, we were aware, but we didn't know what they looked like at that time. We didn't maybe have the particulars quite as yet. There are more grants out there that we're gonna be applying for. There's a lot of money, especially along the I-80 corridor, as that is being built. The state is wanting to put charging stations along that within a mile of the I-80 corridor, all their exits. So we'll be able to apply for grant money to be able to install some of these and be able to get, those going.
This went to a committee, right? Public Service? I mean, we spoke briefly on it in Economic Development, but I believe it went to Public Safety, Public Service.
I can't speak to that because this is just the resolution to apply. So
Right.
we're just asking to apply for the grant.
Right.
We're not asking to accept the grant. We're just asking for permission to apply and to see if we can be eligible for it.
How much are we anticipating we may receive? I mean, the low end or the high end?
The minimum is $500,000 and the maximum would be $15 million.
So whatever we receive, it would be 20%. Is that accurate? The city's portion?
Our match is 20% of that, whatever that is. So if we were to get $1 million, say, we'd have to give 200,000 and we would get $1 million, 20%, yes, sir.
All right. I know we're just gonna apply for the grant, but for me, I'm not against electric vehicles, or I'm not against these charging stations. I just think, it's personal choice if you decide to buy one, and I don't know what the percentage is in the country. I don't know, 1 to 3% currently. I'm not really sure. I don't know how many are in Joliet. For me, to put electric charging stations to take care of 1% of the population at this point, I think the money could be spent better elsewhere. Paving roads, sidewalks, trimming trees, a host of other things we could do. That's just my opinion at this point. I know we're just applying for it. That's what this is for. And I'll probably have more to talk, tomorrow, but I mean, at this point, I think we spend our money elsewhere on better projects. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Agenda item 251-23, a resolution to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Heritage Corridor Convention and Visitors Bureau for grant funds under the Illinois DCEO Route 66 program. Agenda item 252-23, resolution appointing and designating a representative of the Mayors and Managers Working Group for the Regional Water Commission formation. Since the election, this is a nomination for Mayor Darcy to assume the former mayor's responsibilities there, and for Councilman Guerrero to assume the responsibilities that Terry Morris formerly performed on that commission. So we'd recommend that you approve that. Other than that, I have no further comments at this time. Thank you.
Next is public comments. Robert Webb.
Good evening, Councilman, administrative staff, security, and concerned community residents. On behalf of the SCPAC Research Study Group, I extend you all our greetings of peace and friendship. I'm going to try to be as brief as I possibly can. For those among us who don't know, and as a reminder to those who are still around that do know, I've been participating in these proceedings for the past 33 years. And I've witnessed quite a bit of changes in a lot of situations taking place here. I'm here today to reemphasize a point that I had made during the Schultz, Mesrith, and Thanis regime about removing all of the documents related to the Republic off of this wall, which is where it was all at. They had anything that dealt with the Republic. And they switched it over here to this position, indicating the democracy of the Maritime Admiralty Law, particularly with that flag with those gold trims on it. Since, I would say, about 1995, when the Republic came under attack by those who was pushing democracy, and it's a big difference between the two. I'm sure, you all should know that. But anyway, under the democracy form of government, as we know, that's group conformity, as opposed to individual liberty, which the documents of the Republic that was on that wall right there, the former corporate counsel Thomas Thanis had indicated that they were going to be replaced, within due time, which, didn't occur and it hasn't occurred. One other thing I noticed is that the federal government has somewhat seized control over these council chambers with the bankruptcy court that they hold in this council chambers, which I think is very inappropriate. This is a municipal government, but yet still we got the federal government bankruptcy department from the federal government that deals basically with the Uniform Commercial Codes and Maritime Admiralty Law. So I think it's important that in establishing, exactly what position is of this particular council. It's going to be down with the democracy move with this Maritime Admiralty Law, the Uniform Commercial Codes, and so let the people know that we're not operating under the Constitution, or if you're going to go back with the Republic, and emphasize what the Republic is all about. But one of the things is that, with this transferring of the law of the sea, Maritime Admiralty Law, onto the land to usurp the Republic. And I think it's about time that, this effort to usurp the Republic comes to a halt. Because the vast majority of the people aren't educated, because public school system doesn't take time to educate the students to the fact that, all right, you're moving from a republic form of government to a democracy form of government, the difference between the two, and then we're operating under Maritime Admiralty Law and not the Constitution. All of the council members during the election swearing-in ceremonies, said that they will support the Constitution of the state of Illinois and the Constitution of the United States to the best of their ability. So what is it going to be? Go with supporting the Constitution, or you're going to go with supporting this Maritime Admiralty Law, the law of the sea that has been imposed upon the land, indicative of the flag over here on the left with those gold cords around it, which is a flag of Admiralty, Maritime Admiralty Law, which you all are sitting in front of.
That's your time, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, I realize that. I'm gonna be about finished. So wherever Thanis and them had put those documents relevant to the Republic, I think they should be put back there so that people be assured that we are functioning under the Constitution and not the law of the sea, which is Maritime Admiralty Law.
Thank you.
Minnie Heath?
Hello, everyone. I was here last year, and I'm here. I have a few questions. I don't know if you can answer, concerns. I lived here. I left Illinois 5 years ago. I'm from Arizona now, but my son was pulled from the Des Plaines River in 2021. His name was Anthony Dunn. I read different things about my son in Times Weekly and the Joliet Herald. They don't seem to both come on the same page about it. However, my main concerns is District 5. I see we have a new representative for District 5, so I hope things will be different. My concerns are the cameras. You know, my son's van was pulled. They found my son's van in the Housing Authority parking lot. You know, he was reported missing on the 17th. However, they found his van on the 19th in the Housing Authority parking lot. They left it there until they pulled my son from the Des Plaines River on March 1st. I was told by residents there was cameras there. I want to know who put my son's van there. The security guard from the bank said he saw my son on the 21st, which goes along with Herald News story that my son was reported missing on the 21st, which isn't true. But I asked the security guard, if you saw my son missing on the 21st, why did he walk across the street? They found his van on the 19th. Why didn't he drive his van over there? There's a lot of questions. I want to know about Evergreen. I watch you guys on YouTube, and the question was brought up about Evergreen, okay? To me, it's brought up now that Mayor O.D. Kirk is gone, thank God, but it is brought up again. But I believe everything was swept under the rug. There's so much going on over there. Cameras. There was cameras on those buildings. There were cameras inside the building when someone came in. My concern is, I want to know, and I want to know who can tell me who put my son's van over there. My son was pulled out of the Des Plaines River. If he was reported missing on the 17th, his van was found the 19th. It was reported in the Herald News the 21st. There's different stories. I want to know about the cameras. Somebody's responsible. I'm not going away. And District 5 Councilwoman, you know, I'm hoping you're able to help with something going on over there, because I have a relative there. This is why I know my son's van wasn't always there. I have relatives. I was asked before, has the District 5 council person, which wasn't the person now, had they been able to help me and my family? No. I see a couple of new faces, a new mayor, and I'm really hoping we could get some answers. I have major concerns over there. I also noticed that, which is a major concern, Ruby Street. There was concerns about the parking lot. You know, traffic is really bad over there. But let's talk about this Evergreen part over here. There's a whole bunch of deaths, fentanyl deaths. There's a lot of bodies, even after my son that's went over. What about these cameras? Some of this money should be used for that area. That's a low-income area, and something needs to be done. I just want to say I'm seeking for help. I'm not going away. I will be back. I live in Arizona. I will be back. I hear my son to this day. I don't believe that. No one showed me a body. This is what I was told. I never saw I hear my son now. Somebody tell me something. It's concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak?
Hi, I'm Robin Anderson, and some of the ones that returned to this city council, you know me. My daughter is Raven Littlejohn. She will be forever 37. She was killed with a drug-induced homicide, and I no longer got no crying for y'all. I don't got no grieving mutter, none of that. All I know is section 401 of your city ordinance, drug-induced homicide. It's real. There has been, since 2019, over 500 fentanyl poisonings. The fentanyl epidemic, it's out here, it's real. I myself, I've dedicated myself to the fentanyl poisoning, but I want to get justice for my daughter. And even if I don't, I'm making trouble for everybody just by my mouth, and I'm bringing the law. Now, when they first walked into that building, and when they reached my daughter's death, it should have been treated as a drug-induced homicide. They did nothing. She was found without her shoes, her shirt, her panties, her pants, her phone. Everything was gone. She was found in a man's bed with just her bra and a wig. I was told by Deputy Chief Madlock, God bless his soul, that all black women take showers with wigs on, because that's what they told him, the police. That's what she did, took a shower, laid down. Black women don't take a shower with a wig on. They don't even want to get their own hair wet. So, as that I said, God bless his soul. But anyway, with this section, I got no more cries. They should, I was told, they did all the investigations. But with all the cameras that they have, and me back in the day when I used to go to the senior citizen building on 419 Bluff, you could tune in everybody TV and see everything going in and out that door. Now all of a sudden, nobody looked at cameras about with my daughter's death. Now, I do want justice. I ain't stopping. The epidemic of fentanyl poisonings is over the top. I've joined forces with the drug-induced homicide. I'm even taking my fight to Washington. Nobody here, y'all want to do nothing. And if you don't do nothing, all y'all gonna keep having is drug-induced homicide since 2019. Y'all classified them as accidents. Over 150 deaths each year. You just classified them as accidents. Guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna continue. So somewhere here in Will County, y'all gotta put a stop to this, because if you show people that you're gonna be held accountable for this drug-induced homicide and passing off fentanyl to make people become more addicted, and then it's not, fentanyl is a 99% kill rate. Y'all killing off y'all constituents. My daughter was a registered voter here. My mama, I was born and raised here, but I live in Ohio, but I'm coming back each and every time. I'm coming. It is good to see a new mayor. It's good to see a new District 5. I had a picnic for bereaved mothers yesterday. I got nobody. And I know I made it known. I got nobody. I got nobody though, but y'all need to do something. And I came here totally prepared because I ain't crying no more. I'm done with that. Because by law, like I said, in y'all city ordinance, it's city ordinance 401, drug-induced homicide. Y'all don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. The police, when they walked in that thing and my daughter was butt naked, legs wide open, they should have broke it down and made it a homicide scene until they found out, okay, if this is what she died of. Ambulance, they called 911. The police had to go knock on somebody's door. They knocked on the door, then they had to go get a key and let themselves in. My daughter and they're dead. Kenneth Little come back, him and Jasmine Morrow come back just to the scene, and they said, oh, she went and took a shower and laid down. Y'all give me a break. Most perpetrators, suspects, that's what they do. And I'm not gonna say, yeah, it was because she was black. That was the one fault against her. But the other fault was because she was a user. And my daughter went before the court system so many times. Why didn't y'all help her? Why didn't I help her? She had a dirty drop. You just sent her back to the woods. Said, come back July 25th. She was dead to 12th. You should have put her in jail. You should have made her safe. The Will County Housing Authority is y'all responsibility. Y'all should have made them safe. Since 2019, there's been nothing but fentanyl poisonings in that building. Y'all ain't did nothing. They say there's cameras on there. Ain't nobody looked at no camera for my daughter, because guess what? She wasn't good enough. She wasn't good enough. They don't want to use the city resources, the money, to use. I had to be the one to go to the morgue and say, take a rape kit.
I'm sorry, ma'am,
That's my minutes. I'm good. So I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a good day, but y'all need to do something.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak under public comments? We did receive a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance pending or threat litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved. Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.